A river runs through it, whispers on the wind. The night was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. The river, shrouded in mist, seemed to hold secrets of its own, secrets that the wind was all too eager to share. The moon hung low, a pale eye peering through the weeping willows. Its light cast long ghostly shadows that danced on the ground, creating an otherworldly atmosphere. The willows themselves seemed to whisper, their branches swaying gently as if moved by unseen hands. A chill wind danced across the water, rippling the surface of the river. It was a wind that carried with it the weight of countless stories, stories of love and loss, of joy and sorrow. The river's surface shimmered under the moonlight, each ripple a silent testament to the passage of time. It carried a sound, faint at first, then growing, a woman's cry. It was a sound that seemed to come from the very depths of the earth, a cry that echoed through the night, sending shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. It was a cry of pain, of longing, of a sorrow that could never be quenched. A mournful wail that seemed to claw its way out of the earth itself. It was a sound that spoke of ancient grief, of a heart that had been broken beyond repair. The wail rose and fell, a haunting melody that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the night. This was no ordinary sorrow. This was a sorrow that had been etched into the very fabric of the night, a sorrow that had been passed down through generations. It was a sorrow that spoke of lost love, of dreams that had been shattered, of a heart that had been left to wander the earth in search of solace. This was the sound of La Llorona, the weeping woman searching for what she could never reclaim. Her story was one of tragedy, of a love that had been lost to the river's depths. She wandered the night, her cries echoing through the darkness, a constant reminder of the pain that had driven her to this eternal search. The stories had been whispered for generations. Around campfires in hushed tones, parents would tell their children of La Llorona, warning them to stay away from the river at night. These tales were more than just stories, they were a way to keep the memory of La Llorona alive, to ensure that her sorrow was never forgotten. Cautionary tales told to keep children close to home, to remind them of the darkness that lurked at the edges of light. These stories served as a reminder of the dangers that lay beyond the safety of home, of the spirits that wandered the night in search of what they had lost. But like all good ghost stories, the legend of La Llorona refused to be contained by mere words. It was a story that had taken on a life of its own, a story that had seeped into the very essence of the night. It was a story that spoke of love and loss, of choices made in desperation, and the heavy price of eternal regret. It seeped into the very fabric of the night, a chilling reminder of love gone wrong, of choices made in desperation, and the heavy price of eternal regret. The night itself seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting for the next chapter in La Llorona's tragic tale to unfold. And so, the whispers on the wind continued, a haunting melody that would never fade. The Weeping Woman. A mother's despair, a tale that has haunted generations. The roots of the legend run deep, entwined with tales of a woman named Maria. In a small village in Mexico, Maria was known for her beauty and grace. She was said to be a beauty, her heart claimed by a wealthy Spaniard. Their love story was the talk of the town, a passionate and consuming affair that seemed destined for happiness. Their love story, passionate and consuming, bloomed into marriage, into children. They had 2 beautiful children, and for a time, their life was perfect. But like the changing seasons, his affections waned. The wealthy Spaniard, once so devoted, began to lose interest in Maria. He turned his gaze to other women, leaving Maria adrift in a sea of loneliness and betrayal. She watched helplessly as he spent more time away from home, his heart no longer hers. Consumed by despair, driven to the edge of madness by her husband's rejection, Maria committed an unspeakable act. Her mind clouded by sorrow, she took her children to the river. She took the lives of her own children, drowning them in the river's depths. The water, cold and unforgiving, swallowed their innocent cries. As the water claimed their innocent souls, the weight of her actions crashed down upon her. Realizing the horror of what she had done, Maria's heart shattered. Her cries of anguish echoed across the water, her white gown billowing around her like a shroud. The night was filled with her sorrowful wails, a mother's grief that knew no bounds. It was then that she became La Llorona, cursed to wander the earth, eternally searching for her lost children. Her spirit, forever bound to the river, haunts the night, a reminder of a mother's despair and the tragic consequences of her actions. Echoes in the Night. Encounters with La Llorona. Over the centuries, stories of encounters with La Llorona have become woven into the tapestry of Mexican folklore. These tales have been passed down through generations, each adding their own details and embellishments, making La Llorona one of the most enduring and chilling figures in Mexican culture. Some say she appears as a white mist, a ghostly figure gliding along the water's edge. This apparition is often accompanied by an eerie silence, broken only by the soft rustling of leaves or the gentle lapping of water against the shore. Others describe a woman in a flowing white gown, her face forever hidden behind a veil, or her features contorted in an eternal scream of anguish. This haunting image is said to be a manifestation of her endless sorrow and regret, a punishment for her tragic actions. There are those who claim to have heard her bone-chilling cries in the dead of night, her voice a mournful lament that sends shivers down the spine. These cries are said to be so piercing and sorrowful that they can be heard echoing through the valleys and across the water, a sound that is impossible to forget. Fishermen tell tales of seeing her near rivers and lakes, her cries a warning of impending doom. They speak of nights when the mist is thick and the air is heavy, and La Llorona's presence is almost palpable, a chilling reminder of the supernatural forces that lurk just beyond the veil of the ordinary. Parents warn their children to stay away from the water's edge, lest they be taken by La Llorona, who seeks to replace the children she herself condemned. This cautionary tale serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers that lie in wait, and the enduring power of folklore to shape our fears and behaviors. More than a ghost story, cultural reflections. La Llorona is more than just a scary story told to frighten children. She is a potent symbol woven deeply into the cultural fabric of Mexico. She embodies the profound sense of loss and sorrow that permeates Mexican history, reflecting the country's long history of conquest, revolution, and social injustice. She serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of jealousy, despair, and the destructive nature of unchecked emotions. Yet within the tragedy there is also a flicker of maternal love. La Llorona's eternal search for her children, however misguided, speaks to the enduring bonds of motherhood. Between fact and fiction, the enduring mystery. Is La Llorona real? A phantom born of guilt and despair, condemned to walk the earth for eternity? Or, is she a cautionary tale, a product of folklore passed down through generations, a way to explain the unexplainable and instill fear of the unknown? Some dismiss the stories as mere superstition, the products of overactive imaginations and the human tendency to find patterns in chaos. Others believe there is more to the legend, pointing to unexplained events and eyewitness accounts as evidence of her existence. The debate rages on, fueled by the enduring power of the story and the human fascination with the supernatural. A legacy of sorrow, La Llorona's timeless grip. The legend of La Llorona, the weeping woman, continues to captivate and terrify. She is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, the thin veil separating love and despair, sanity and madness. Her story is a cautionary tale, a warning about the choices we make and the consequences that ripple through time. But perhaps, more importantly, La Llorona is a testament to the power of storytelling. She is a figure who transcends cultures and languages, her tale resonating with anyone who has ever loved and lost, who has felt the sting of betrayal, or the crushing weight of regret. Bibliography to be added. About the author. Guillermo del Toro Gomez, born October 9, 1964, is a renowned Mexican film director, screenwriter, producer, and novelist. He is widely known for his fantasy and horror films, which often incorporate themes of Catholic mythology, the grotesque, and a fascination with the monstrous. Del Toro's work is characterized by its visual richness, strong emotional undercurrents, and exploration of complex themes and narratives. He has received numerous accolades for his films, including 4 prestigious Academy Awards.